The supermarket is an important building in any city, for they provide a convenient way to purchase a variety of food in a family-friendly, safe environment. However, these stores changes in the blink of an eye, once the unsold bento boxes go on their nightly half-hour sales. War breaks out and friends become foes as each person fights for honor, pride, and dinner. There are no longer any people in these supermarkets, only wolves and DOGS winners and losers. High schooler Yusatu is painfully introduced to these battles after unknowingly stumbling into the war zone, but instead of choosing to avoid these nightly fights, he wants to join in. After seeing Satu's lack of fighting skills, upperclassman and wolf Senator Yurizuki invites him and Hana Ashuri, the girl who enjoys spectating the brawls, to join her half-priced food lovers club, to show them the distinction between the dogs and the wolves. Together, they learn what it truly means to fight for your food. It is said that every few years, there is what's known as the Summer of Anu. During that summer, thanks to the divine protection of the sky god Anu, all of the demons in the tower lose their power. The country of Uruk has begun an invasion of the tower in order to suppress the demons. They've built up positions inside the tower, with their sights set on getting to the upper levels. The Uruk army knows that this is the third summer of Anu, a perfect time to launch a mission to suppress the monster Draga once and for all. The army soldiers aren't the only ones in the tower, though. An another city called Meskia has formed inside the tower's first floor. It plays host not just to soldiers, but also to adventurers who have heard rumors about a legendary treasure called the Blue Crystal Rod, which is set to rest at the very top of the tower. With all these different groups in the mix, each with its own agenda, one can only guess how things will play out during this unusual summer. In the year 2199, Earth faces its greatest crisis. Due to unrelenting bombings by the alien race known as Gamilas, the planet can no longer sustain its inhabitants. In exactly 1 year, humanity is set to become extinct. In desperation, the people of Earth establish the Earth Defense Force, their last defense against the power-hungry Gamilas empire. However, humanity finds a glimmer of hope after receiving a message from the mysterious planet Iskander, which offers them a device that would restore Earth to its former glory. With salvation in sight, the Earth Defense Force calls on the prolific space battleship Yamato, and swiftly assembles a crew to make the 168,000 light-year trek to Iskander, and receive their aid. Among the crew are young officers Susumu Kadai and Daisuke Shima, along with several other newly promoted leaders, all under the command of the distinguished Captain Juzu Kita. Forced to learn how to handle the ship's innovative technology while dealing with the onslaught of Gamila's fleets, the inexperienced cast of Uchu Senkan Yamato 2199 must summon every inch of their resolve to survive the many hardships aboard the Yamato and complete their mission to save humanity before it's too late. Angel Eyes Ikuruga Mitsurugi is the first princess of the noble Mitsurugi Empire. The kingdom has seen great power and prosperity due to the advancement of the revolutionary technology known as mana, an abstract bending of light that has reduced the world's problems of war and pollution to a timeless peace. However, not all are blessed with the ability to wield mana. Those who cannot are labeled Norman, outcasts of society who are considered a threat to civilization and live under constant persecution, and Angel Eyes herself is one of many who want the Norm exterminated. But as Angel Eyes' 16th birthday commences, it is discovered in a shocking revelation that she is actually a Norma. Chaos ensues, the public is outraged, and the once adored princess is exiled to Arsenal, a remote military base where Normas are forced into conscription. Now, the former royal must adapt to a harsh and vastly different lifestyle, piloting mechanical robots known as pair-mail to fend off large devastating beasts, referred to as dragons. However, a sinister truth about these savage creatures threatens to change everything. Daka Kurakami is, in the truest sense of the word, perfect. Beautiful, intelligent, and athletic, Medaka's dream is to make others happy. So when she runs for student council president of the prestigious Hakoniwa Academy, winning the election with 98% of the votes is only to be expected. The very first thing the boisterous new president does is set up the Medaka box, a suggestion box allowing students to submit any kind of requests for assistance. Together with the cynical Zenkichi Hiroyoshi, her childhood friend who has been strong-armed into helping, Medaka fulfills these requests at a ridiculous rate. For every job completed, she adds flowers to the student council room, with the aim of filling the entire school. However, the two are about to find out that helping others may be a lot harder than they think, as they begin to uncover a devastating plan centering on the academy and even Medaka herself. Mahiro Yusaka is just an ordinary high school student, until one day he is suddenly attacked by a dangerous monster. Just when everything seems to be lost, he is saved by a silver-haired girl named Nairuko, who claims to be the shape-shifting deity Nyarlathotep from horror author H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos, sent by the Space Defense Agency to Earth. She explains to Mahiro that the creature chasing him was an alien called Nightgaunt, who had planned on abducting and selling him as a slave. After rescuing him from the alien, the Lovecraftian deity falls madly in love with Mahiro, and forces herself into his household, much to his chagrin. Moreover, they are soon joined by two others from the fictional universe. Kuthuko, the girl obsessed with Nairuko, and Hasuda, a young boy easily mistaken for a beautiful female. Together, the three eccentric aliens protect Mahiro from the various extraterrestrial dangers that threaten both his and Earth's well-being, all the while making his life a living hell. Hinoka Takemiya was perfectly happy with his completely average and normal life. His primary problem in life was the fact that he shared a school with the school's princess, Ayaka Kagari. Both girls and boys fawn over her, which makes Hinoka's life difficult, since he rides the same bus as her in the morning, and sits next to her in class. What's worse is that if he even idly interacts with her, her fan club takes him out back and beats him up. One day while taking out the trash, she looks up to see a school building falling on top of him. He is saved at the very last moment by the very same beautiful girl, Ayaka, that he's never even had a full conversation with. She finally speaks to him, revealing that she's been protecting him in secret, but now that someone is attacking him directly, she no longer needs to do it covertly. It turns out that Ayaka is a fire witch, and there are other witches in the world who want to capture Hinoka and use him for the power that he possesses inside of him. Onmyaru magic was once a powerful technique used by the Japanese during the Second World War, in order for them to gain the upper hand and establish their nation as a formidable force. But Japan was quickly defeated after the revered Onmyaji Yaku Tsuchimikado caused a great spiritual disaster, an event which plagues Tokyo to this very day. As a result of this mishap, the Onmyu Agency was established in order to exorcise further spiritual disasters and combat the demons that would make their way into the world. Now, Onmyaru has become far more modern, simplified, and refined for use in a wide variety of applications, such as medicine and technology. However, not everyone is able to utilize the magic, as is the case with Harutora, a member of the Tsuchimikado's branch family. Despite an old promise to protect Natsume, the heir of the Tsuchimikado's main family and Yaku's supposed reincarnation, as her familiar, Harutora has no talent and chooses to live a normal life instead. But when a prominent member of the Onmyu Agency attempts to recreate the same experiment which led to Japan's downfall, he decides to make good on his word and fight by Natsume's side. It has always been the aspiration of the Central Tanegashima High School Robotics Research Club to complete the GUNPR-01, a fully functioning giant robot. For years, the members of the club have contributed to its progress, and it is now Keiho Senemiya's goal to finally make the dream of all the past club members become a reality. However, things are not as easy as they seem, as the club lacks the funding for such a huge endeavor. Aside from that, the only other club member, Kaido Yashio, shows no interest in assisting his childhood friend, and instead indulges in playing mecha fighting games on his Pokemon. As Kaido is in the middle of wasting his days, he receives an indecipherable message and hears a voice that seems to be drowned out by the noise of static. He searches for the source, only to realize that it came from Ira Yukifune, an AI which only exists within the augmented reality system accessible via the Pokemon. Robotic Notes follows the story of Kaido as he discovers a peculiar report in Iray's database, one that would have disastrous consequences in the future. The self-proclaimed mad scientist Rinjiro Akup rents out a room in a rickety old building in Akihabara, where he indulges himself in his hobby of inventing prospective future gadgets with fellow lab members. Miura Shiina, his air-headed childhood friend, and Hashida Teru, a perverted hacker nicknamed Dare. The three pass the time by tinkering with their most promising contraption yet, a machine dubbed the phone microwave, which performs the strange function of morphing bananas into piles of green gel. Though miraculous in itself, the phenomenon doesn't provide anything concrete in Akup's search for a scientific breakthrough. That is, until the lab members are spurred into action by a string of mysterious happenings, before stumbling upon an unexpected success. The phone microwave can send emails to the past, altering the flow of history. Adapted from the critically acclaimed visual novel by 5PB. And Nitro Plus, Steins Gate takes Akup through the depths of scientific theory and practicality. Forced across the diverging threads of past and present, Akup must shoulder the burdens that come with holding the key to the realm of time.
We honor the hero.